Welcome to the Tied Together podcast, where we feature everyday people doing extraordinary things. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share so others can join in on the conversation too. Today's guest found purpose in the midst of a pandemic. Anthony began crowdfunding and supporting Black-owned businesses in his community in order to help them prosper. His most recent notoriety comes from the almost 2 months he spent standing guard in front of a single mother's home who had been threatened by her neighbors. Love of community is not new to him, though. You can hear his heart poured out into his original songs like Persevere and Light Skin, Dark Skin. Please welcome the hero Farmers Boulevard didn't know they needed, Anthony Herron Jr.
Hey, I love that intro. That was great. That was great.
Awesome. Anthony, I love what you're doing in the community. And let me ask you this question.
Mhm.
Do you feel like a hero?
Um, People have said it enough to where I just accept it. I don't ever personally say it, but I guess honestly, I guess I'm just modest about it, but I guess so.
Yeah. When you're doing something, in my opinion, that's coming from the heart, it's weird when people start giving you accolades. It's like, no, I really just meant to do this because I thought it was the right thing.
Yeah, I tend to like oversimplify it. Like I'll just I just got a chair and sat outside. People like, no man, you're a hero. I was like, I just got a chair and sat down. I always oversimplify things.
Well, I live in Georgia now, and I don't know that Jennifer McLagan's story has spread as far as Georgia, though it should. It's out here a little bit, but I don't think the community really knows what's going on. Can you just tell us a little bit about who she is and why you felt a need to assist her?
So she's a single mother who actually is from Queens. She's Jamaican, and of course, she has a daughter who's turning 3 in about 2 months. And she's living by herself, and she lives next door, like directly next door, to some racist neighbors who would throw human and dog feces on her yard, will throw dead squirrels on her yard, will say stuff like they can get her erased, and just like they'll be spitting on her house. I don't even know what that does, but
Right.
just doing losing stuff. And the story, I heard about it July 11th, and when I seen it was Valley Stream, I was like, if you live in Queens, that's right there. Like as a kid, I didn't even know Valley Stream was Long Island because we was always going there. It's like Green Acres Mall and stuff like that.
Right.
So I seen it and I said, hey, I went on Twitter. I said, hey, somebody get me in contact with this person. I kept saying to myself, I said, give me an hour. I'm gonna have her name, her address, her number. And in about 45 minutes, I definitely had all that. And we got cool, told her what I wanted to do. She was weary in the beginning because somebody she doesn't know just sitting outside. But, once we got a real acquaintance, like we were able to do it. And I've been there since July 12th. So tonight would be 57 days.
Wow. Every
Yeah,
night,
every
6
night.
p.m. to 6 a.m.
Yeah, sometimes 7 to 7, but
Mhm.
around that range.
Wow. What does it take to see something like that and make the decision to go help rather than just sit by and, I don't know, send tweets and texts?
For me, not much. And it's funny because I was just talking about these kind of things. Like I got tired of marching. Like that's no disrespect to anybody who marches. I will go to another one,
Hmm.
granted. But my problem with the marches were people will march and then just go home and feel a sense of accomplishment. I was like, no, you didn't do anything. Like you spread awareness, and then so with this situation in general,
Hmm.
they had a march, they spread awareness. I'm like, all right, once you spread awareness, realize that now more people know about it. That could be positive, that could be negative. So you shine a light on this house, but then everybody goes home. That's not protection. So
Right.
you have half the world and maybe all in New York knowing about this story, knowing where she lives at. Because be clear, the news pretty much said the address on TV. Knowing where she lives at and everybody goes home, that doesn't make sense. She's going to need even more protection than she did before. So you got to actually, it can't just be awareness. Everybody knows now. What's the next step? What are you going to do?
Right. At any point, were you afraid?
Not afraid. Cautious at times, but I wouldn't say afraid.
Yeah, yeah. From what I gather from you and your life, you are very close with your mom. Was she
Mm.
scared for you? I know I would be. I have a son. I'd be afraid.
Nah, she got over it. Like in the beginning, it was just like once they realized that more people was like out there, and my parents they actually came. Jennifer had to get together, so
Mhm.
both my parents came, and once they seen everything, they didn't really question me about it yet. And plus, I'm one of those people like you can't really tell me what to do. Like you can, but I'm of age where I could just be like, yeah, that's nice, but I'm gonna still go do this. So
Right.
they realized that.
Do you think anybody has it in them to stand up and do that, or do you think that that's cut out for certain people?
Uh, cut out, cut out for certain people. That's not even to like say that we're cut from certain cloth.
Hmm.
It's not even. It's just wanting to do something. I think you have to want to do something, and I think a lot of people don't. A lot of people want to do the bare minimum, and I
Hmm.
always tell people you got to do something dramatic to get drastic change.
Right.
So like people like you're really out there 56 days. Like yeah, you got to be dramatic
Hmm.
because every single day that I post that house on my timeline, whether it be Twitter or Instagram, somebody says, "Oh, this is still going on." Yeah, that is the point. The reason that I post at least once a day about it is to let somebody know who doesn't know that it's still going on. And number two, people have like these false narratives like, "Oh, why is he still there? The neighbors got arrested." Like, let's be clear: the way the legal system works, that's not prison. You get arrested, they tell you what they charged with,
Right.
and then first of all, they was out within the hour.
1 hour?
Yeah, no bail, no nothing.
I, I didn't know it was an hour.
Yeah, they
Wow.
or damn near too, because they got arrested when I was at work, and
Hmm.
they was out. I was still at work.
Wow.
They
And
beat me to their house.
and to make it clear, like this hasn't been going on for 57 days. This has been going on for three
Yeah,
years.
3 years.
3 years. And they're just now being arrested. She's been complaining for years
Mhm.
about her neighbors. And I mean, I'd be terrified. I'd be terrified. She bought this home with her
Mhm.
hard-earned money and then gets tortured in essence by her neighbors.
Yeah, it's, that's something like if she could do 3 years of this, I could do 3 months, 4 months, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, at least at the point we kind of have an end date in sight
Hmm.
because the court date is October 9th.
Hmm.
So the best case scenario, we got 34, 33 more days
Yeah.
at best.
What are they hoping to get out of the court case? If you can share that.
I probably can't,
Okay, that's fine.
but I mean, it's with the charges, it's not going to be anything severe.
Hmm.
I can't remember what the charges are to be honest, but it's not. Don't expect if you do get jail time, the most would probably be a year,
Right.
but I don't even expect that.
Yeah.
I just hope they leave,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah. I mean that it doesn't seem like they can be neighborly, to say the least.
Not at all.
Very
Not
least.
at all.
Doesn't seem like that's gonna happen. So you look at this as something that was just the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, including myself, look at it as courageous because
Mm.
you don't know this woman, you don't know her neighbors. If they could do that to her and she lives right next door, my first thought would be, what would they do to you? And they definitely don't know you.
Yeah.
How would you define courage at all?
Courage is just standing up in the face of like, or standing up in a time to where it's not easy to stand up. That's kind of my definition of courage. Just saying that you don't care. You don't care about the consequences. You don't care about what can happen. You just say, hey, I'm doing this because I feel in my heart it's the right thing to do. And I have to make some change in just any way I could think of.
Yeah. Do you think that you can be afraid and have courage? Not you personally,
Uh,
but just in general.
yeah, I think you can. I think you can.
Hmm.
Because I think sometimes to be courageous, you're going to do something that's going to be scary. That's going to have fear in your heart. But as long the courage part is just you kept doing it.
Right.
Because you can be afraid, but if you gotta do what you gotta do, just do it.
Hmm. So prior to you even meeting Jennifer, you were on a juice fast.
Yeah,
What was your reason behind being on a juice fast?
it's fat. not even just that. It was a mental thing, like because somebody brought it up, and I was just like, I could do that. Like a month, that's nothing. And it was plus everybody was quarantined. Like I was still working, so I was an essential worker. But I was
Mm,
just like most places are closed anyway. But a couple juice bars was open, so I was like, I was supposed to do it this month actually, but again, I was advised that like, hey, you're not getting a lot of sleep, and to add on not eating a lot of food or eating
right,
zero food, you're gonna die. So I was
right.
like, all right, I don't want to die. So I'll push this back to like the end of October, like maybe October 20th to November 20th.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
gonna do it again. I lost 23 pounds the first time in a month.
I
So
saw, yeah, that's dope. Do you feel any different?
I mean, I put back on like 10
Yeah.
because like when you go back to food, like okay, so your body doesn't know when's the next like they saw that you didn't eat for 30 months, 30 months, 30 days,
Hmm.
right? So your body is saying the next time you eat, I don't know when's the next time he's gonna do this. So I'm gonna hold on to this little bit of food. Like there's no like I gained like 5 pounds the first week I was back home.
Okay, okay.
I wasn't even like eating crazy. So you gotta so the next time I do it, I'm gonna take somebody's advice, like, hey, you gotta soups, salad,
Mm.
like you gotta ease back into food, like eat something light because your body is gonna try to hold on to all of that.
Kind of like starvation mode.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, so your juice fast opened the door to something else you were doing with
Yeah.
Black. Can you tell us about Black and what you started doing with that? Because that's super exciting.
All right. So yeah, great transition. The way it started was back to the juice fest. I was doing it, and let's say I was on day 22, right? So this whole time I've been going to whether it be Flushing, whether it be I work in Long Island, whether it be Long Island, and supporting all these different juice bars. None of them were black.
Hmm.
So around day 23, my friend Rich, he hits me up, and he's like, oh, you should try the juices at my mom's spot. This whole time I'm like, a guy I went to high school with, a guy I'm cool with. I'm probably gonna see him today too, matter of fact. And his mom has a juice bar, black owned in Laurelton. So I'm like, you know what? I felt so bad, and I was like, I could have been coming here the whole month. So what
Hmm.
I'll do is I'm gonna come tomorrow, get something, and to make up for the 25 days that I didn't come, whoever comes in between 12 and 2, I'll personally pay for your juice. But he's like, wow, that's commendable. It's great. I don't know if he thought I was gonna do it, but I ended up doing it. And I want to say in 2 hours, it was like somewhere between 30 and 40 orders.
Wow.
Yeah, so like I was like, oh, so I got back home, made a video, posted it, and I was like, hey, if I could do this by myself, I took care of 40 people. Imagine if I had 10 other people, or like a small 10 group people. People started to hit me up like, yo, I'm interested. So I got a little council together, came up with a name, Black Liaisons and Crowdfunding Community,
Hmm.
Black, BLACC, and we just started from there. We did a pizza shop in Brooklyn called Cuts and Slices. Our first event was an ice cream shop, which is actually a block away from the juice bar. There's a kid, he's 26,
That's
black kid,
I saw that. Like that's
on his
really
phone.
dope.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like ice cream shop slash thrift store.
Mm-hmm.
And we did a taco spot in Jersey like 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I promised everybody that Philly is next. I actually have the spot. I just won't announce it yet until we like finalize some things. But yeah, pretty much the simple as we'll go to a spot, of course, get their permission and say, all right, we're getting kind of big to the point that I can't do the come between 4 and 6 thing no more
Okay.
because I don't know how many people's actually gonna come out and that
Uh,
might burn our pockets. So like with the pizza spot, we just bought 150 slices,
right.
give it out for free. And the idea is if you like it, come back the next day and spend your money.
Mm-hmm.
Make the black dollar circulate over and over. That increases, the community, the businesses. We don't want to see any more black businesses fail. The
Mm-hmm.
white ones fail. Hey, go to go to
Now,
your grandson.
I did see on your website there was a chart talking about the circulation of different races' dollars in their communities. I don't remember every race and the number of hours, how much time it spends in the community, but I did see in the black dollar spends 6 hours. Yes,
6.
6 hours in the community.
Yeah.
That's it. And
Yeah.
as far as I know, we're mostly the ones that buy from Black businesses. You don't have
Mm,
other communities coming in to pour in financially to the
mm,
communities. The Asian shops, like Chinese food store, beauty supply store, we're there. Black
yeah.
people are there. And for our dollars to only spend 6 hours, it doesn't lead to them being very prosperous if that's the
Yeah.
case. So I love that you're taking the time to promote them, because to me that's what it looks like. It looks like a big promotion for
Mm.
this business to make sure that people know who they are, and come back and buy. I think that's dope as hell.
And honestly, I'm gonna say this, and I never said it before out loud. For a business, it's actually a stupid idea. Because it's like it's like we're giving you free promotion
Mm-hmm.
and we're purchasing everything and getting zero in return.
Yeah.
A business owner will tell you that's stupid,
Mm-hmm.
but in the long run, it's gonna be for the greater good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Does your business see any return at all, or have any sight to see any returns at all? What do you plan on doing and expanding it?
Uh, that's the thing. I got expansion ideas about going to different places. If it wasn't for like COVID, we would have definitely been in Atlanta. We would have been in Houston. We got requests for LA. But at the moment, the only way we wouldn't even really see a profit, but you got donations and you got sponsors.
Right.
So donations come from the people, and those go directly to the Black-owned businesses that we choose,
Mm-hmm.
right? Sponsors, the money that they would send would be more so traveling fees.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we want to go to, we're going to Philly, and I already stated that I want to get a sprinter, like the vans,
Yeah.
because I'm not going to want to drive. Nobody's going to want to drive.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hopefully get a driver, somebody take us out there. Sponsor money will cover that.
Yeah.
So it still wouldn't technically go to us, but it wouldn't go to the Black businesses. It would just be for like traveling,
Right.
gas, stuff like that. So it wouldn't be a profit for us, but it would be money that we wouldn't have to spend out of pocket.
Right. Right. So
I guess we'll figure out the rest later, honestly.
most times, I won't say most times, but a lot of times when people pursue something, it's to make money and make a lot
Yeah,
of it.
yeah.
And you've done this, Jennifer McLegan, a lot of things that you've done out of the kindness of your heart. Why is this specifically so important to you?
We're not making money.
No, no,
Just
no, not making,
helping.
not making money, but making sure that you see these Black businesses flourish.
It's because I never really got the experience to see them
Mm-hmm.
too often. Like I said, you say you grew up around farmers. Like there's a beauty supply store, there's a barbershop. Like those are the ones that we consistently support.
Right.
But those are also the ones that may not be around for 30 years, 20 years. And I always tell people, I said the problem with us at times is that you have one bad experience with a Black-owned business, and you'll use that to generalize all of them.
Right.
Like people will be like, "Oh, I waited an hour for my food, et cetera, et cetera." I said, "Well, it's a Black-owned business. It's newly opened.
Mm-hmm.
If you walked in there, you would see there might be two hands on deck, three at the most. It's never a lot of people. It's never a staff. So I tell people, I say, yo, instead of complaining, why don't you say, hey, I got a nephew, I got a cousin, I got a grandson. Do you need any help around here?
Yeah.
Are you guys hiring? Like, make it easier for them, because it's something about our complaints to our own people that tend to shut things down.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a Chinese food spot right by me. I'm not going to say where, because
I know what it
everybody
is.
would know exactly where it is. We didn't call this Chinese spot dirty. I'm 30. We've been called it dirty for 30 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we still go there. So your complaint didn't stop you from going there.
Right.
Why does your one complaint stop you from going to a Black-owned business? It's like, this place has been dirty for 30 years.
Yep.
The girl behind the counter has had a unibrow for 30 years. It's been like, it's several complaints. Like they done called the cops on certain people for staying in there for too long or standing outside. Like, but
Mm-hmm.
you still go and get pork fried rice. You still go get General Tso's. Like,
Mm-hmm.
why? But the one time your food took 45 minutes to be made, you was like over and done with, not with just that spot, every Black-owned business. It was, oh man, Black-owned, unprofessional. And it's like, shut up.
Right. I wonder why we're so hard on each other, because I do see that.
Yeah.
I wonder why we're so hard on each other, and won't give each other the grace to mess up sometimes.
It's because it's a charity. Because you were never doing it because you wanted to support like that. You were just like, all right, this is black on. Let me go check it out. So when you do have a bad experience, like, oh, you got some nerve. You want to come here to begin with. Like, I would much rather give my money to whoever I was giving it to before, so they feel like they're doing a good service by coming there. And then when it's bad, they feel like you got some nerve to be bad, and we don't even have to support you like that.
Yeah, that makes
That's
sense.
how I feel, at least.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you think that with everything going on in 2020, that it will change how Black businesses thrive?
Yeah, it already I forgot the number, but it was an article pretty much saying that black business has been booming since the COVID and all the marches. It's like people are starting to get it. It's just up to us as the people to continue it. Like, I want to make it to the part, like, yeah, realistically, you're not going to be able to support everything black 24/7. That's going to be hard. There's going to be some rights that you support,
Right.
either because it's there already, it's already established. But I at least, like to say, by the end of the year, I should have a list of different places that we supported, not just food, to where you can still go and do that. So hopefully in 2 years, that list is even longer. And eventually at the point, you should be able to come to our website and see a million different black-owned businesses. So now you don't have an excuse.
Right.
Because before it was, you didn't know. Cool. We're gonna make sure you know. Now it's up to you to say, okay, I know a black-owned business. Go support it.
Right.
And
exactly.
we vet these places. We make sure it's quality places. So we're not sending you to some BS spot. Like, if I give you 1,000 quality black-owned businesses, you have no excuse besides you just didn't want to go.
That's true.
Simple as that.
That's true. So in looking you up, I see that who you are today, you've been that person already. You've already had these feelings, and I've listened to your music. Your name is f.l.o.w. as an artist. Tell me who you are as an artist. Who is f.l.o.w?
Stands for Freedom Lies Only Within. I'm just a reflection of who I actually am as a person. I just tend to speak on what I know, what I've been through, what I see others have been through. Just try to give you as much as my personality as possible, as much as my story as possible. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah. And your song, I think you released it in 2019, Persevere. You talked about how you felt every emotion in this game, in the rap game. Can you talk a little bit about those emotions and what it takes to keep going?
Yeah, that was actually that was a clip from an Nipsey Hussle interview. And he said that. Yeah, and I was just like, it resonated because in this, like I said, another business to where there's no real payoff at the moment. Like, you're gonna like, I don't know if you encourage, you're gonna bust your ASS and not really see a return right away. Like, you're gonna spend money in the studio, you're gonna spend money for videos, you're gonna do all these things, and you're probably not gonna make money in the beginning. So persevere is just like, hey, what are you gonna do with getting zero return? Are you gonna stop? Are you gonna keep going? And you're gonna be sad sometimes. You're gonna be mad. You're gonna be angry, but eventually you're gonna be happy if you do it the way you wanted to do it. And I don't see why I wouldn't be happy in the end. So that's kind of where that came from.
Right. Do you think when you're starting something that you're very passionate about, that you have to be willing to take nothing?
Yeah, you have to. That's what they call paying dues. Paying dues, literally making no money, and keep going. That might be the title of this episode. f.l.o.w. makes no money. From everything he does, he makes no money. But it's gonna pay off. Everything's gonna pay off.
Yeah, I mean, you can't put that much good out into the world and get nothing back in return. You got to keep working at it. And I mean, so I'm biased, right? I think Queen's rappers are better than all of the rappers.
They are. It's not even close.
Like, lyrically, Queen's rappers are just more inclined, in my opinion. And I am not the type of person to hype somebody up just because I want them to think I like them or I think their music is good. I think you're actually really good. I think your lyrics are dope. I think the video concepts are dope. I think the beats are fire. I love light skin, dark skin. I listen to as many songs as good. Yeah.
You took it back. I didn't even have a beard. Like, you took it back.
No, you didn't. But I did love that because that is something that we deal with in the Black community is colorism.
Yeah.
And I love when Black people highlight it and talk about it. And, you know, you had a part with what's the difference between light skin, dark skin, a light skin nigga and a dark skin nigga. I don't know, because they both niggas. Like, you don't want to be a nigga at the end of the day. So if you want to
Yeah.
be a light skin nigga or a dark skin nigga, well, I couldn't pick which one's better, you
You're
know?
on the same plantation in my
Right.
eyes.
Right. Oh no, you said a house nigga and a field nigga. That's
House nigga and field nigga, yeah.
right, right,
It's
right.
all the same to me.
Yeah. What about your upbringing like makes flow today? What are those puzzle pieces?
My dad is a preacher. My uncle sold drugs. My other uncles was on drugs. My mom
Wow.
was working the post office. You put those things together, you probably get me.
Wow.
Like it was the combination of like everything. I used to love it coming up because it was like you got certain family values in the house, and then you walked outside and you got certain street smarts.
Mm-hmm.
And the family values always kept me from making dumb decisions outside. Like
Mm-hmm.
not that I made plenty of dumb decisions outside,
Who doesn't?
but I knew when something was too dumb. But I was smart enough not to shoot nobody. I was
Right.
smart enough not to like hit no woman. I was smart enough to not do certain things. So it was just like I always accredit that to the things I learned inside of this place, inside of my house, and whether it be the church and just like strong family values. Got a lot of things from my grandmother, and that's kind of what made me me.
Right. Um, when you grow up in the inner city, in any hood, it is easy to romanticize the street life and want to live that life throughout your adulthood. And we all have histories and teenage years where we do a bunch of dumb stuff, but
Mhm.
obviously you didn't latch on to the street life and say, you know, I just want to be a major drug dealer or whatever it is. But you grew up in a household that was influenced by different aspects. You had the
Yeah.
uncle that was on drugs and things like that. What kept you from romanticizing the street life so much, like a lot of kids do?
I was 5'8". I mean, I'm 5'8" now. So that means back then I was like 5'5", 5'6". And not that that makes me soft or anything. I never been
Right.
soft. I never. And here's the thing: I never had to do anything. Like when you come from a good household, like you would almost seem stupid to not to judge anybody, but to want to sell drugs, knowing that you have parents with solid jobs. You got parents who work hard. Like, and when I have kids, I imagine myself to be a millionaire one day. Imagine you're well off, you're set. Like your kids don't have to do nothing but go to school and find their passion, and I could help you push towards it. Imagine I find out I'm rich and successful, and you out there gangbang, you out there doing dumb stuff, like you out here wilding out, like for what?
Right.
Sometimes it pushes the kid. Actually, the more successful somebody's parents are, sometimes it may push a kid to do stuff like that just
Yeah.
to feel like they're a part of their surroundings. But I never really cared. Like I've watched the scenarios. Like I watched people go to jail. I watched people die. So it was like, why would I pick that knowing the outcome is never? I don't know any good stories of somebody who kept doing something like that and it ended well. Like
No.
everybody romanticizes Scarface. Have you ever seen the end of that movie?
I say that all the time.
I'm like, oh man, say hello to my little friend. I said, yeah. 3 minutes after, he's dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, why do we romanticize these things and we know they end badly? Like,
Yeah.
I never cared.
What was crazy for me growing up, so my mom was wholesome. You know, she taught us the right way to go and things like that. But what was crazy for me when I found out from my peers was that they had parents that were in gangs. Now, of course, we know that that's a reality, right? But when
Yeah,
I first heard that, I was like, your parents are in gangs? Like,
yeah,
I remember talking to a girl in high school, asking her why she doesn't just get out of the Bloods. Like, why does she have to be in a gang? And I was really trying to get her to get out of it. And she said,
yeah.
I can't. And she was very adamant. And I said, well, why not? She said, well, my whole family's Blood. And my whole family's selling drugs. And I can't because they say that I have to. Now, if you have a minor that's in that situation, they can't just get up and go. They can't just,
Yeah.
turn that off. But if you were to see a youngster that has that family and they really don't want to live that lifestyle, what would you say to them to even try to do?
I honestly don't know. For me, honest, I don't know. Like, I know people whose family may have been in gangs. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Like they say, you don't ever drop out of the Bloods or the Crips or whatever. That's a
Mm-hmm.
lie. I've seen
Right.
that plenty of times. Maybe
Yes.
maybe not in Cali, but like here, this is like you just stop wearing the flag. Eventually, like, people grow up, people got a job, right?
Right.
So I wouldn't necessarily know what to tell them,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, change behavior. I guess. I mean, you can't stop somebody from messing with you because they know that you're affiliated with something.
Mm-hmm.
But like honestly, if I go outside, I wouldn't wear the flag.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't rep it. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you know, you know. But at this point, like I don't have to actively pursue it. Like just
Mm-hmm.
go to school, go to your job, whatever. People know. People know when it's time to defend yourself. Defend yourself, and hopefully, if your parents or your family starts to see that you really do not care about that,
Right.
you got to make an executive decision and be like, hey, well, I'm not doing this.
Right.
I understand y'all grew up in that, but I didn't. I didn't. Like just because I was born from you does not mean that I should be forced to do this. I'm not interested in doing that. If they can't understand that, then
Right.
have fun.
Do you think that anybody is ever really truly trapped in this situation? And I mean for a lifetime. I don't mean like let's say your current situation is you're jobless. Right now you don't have a job, or right now
Yeah.
you live in a household that, your family's gang members. But do you think that anybody for a lifetime is truly trapped in their situation?
No, I mean there's differences, different situations, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody's trapped to do anything.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can find something positive to do in jail. Like you're never trapped.
Yeah.
Like you can find your calling somebody who got life in jail right now,
Mm-hmm.
but he made his life decision to preach to whoever comes in there, teach them or speak to the youth. Like, they got these scared straight programs and whatnot. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think we're ever trapped. I think we fall deep into a hole and we just decide that that hole is unclimbable
Mm-hmm. Right.
rather than like, because some people will see how far they fell in and look up and be like, nah, I can't do it. That's impossible. No, you just know it's going to take more effort than you want. I don't think we're ever trapped.
Yeah.
I've had 17 jobs. I've been fired 11 of them.
Wow.
Always got another one. That was
Yeah.
my mindset. I was like, yo, I got fired. I'll get another one. Like that
Mm-hmm.
was always my mindset. So I don't think we're ever really trapped. It is
Yeah.
what it is. Just do it. Just whatever you see, whatever you think you gotta do, just do it, and you'll be all right.
Yeah. You spoke about when you have kids, you want them to follow their passion.
Mm-hmm.
Why is following a passion even important?
I guess because my parents kind of let me do it. Like I don't want to say I did whatever I wanted, but I wanted to learn how to play the drums. I got a drum set that Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Stopped playing the drums within a month. I wanted to do karate. I was still a white belt. I got one slash on the belt. Nah, I don't want to do it no more. One learn how to play piano. The class was born. I don't want to do it no more. Like I played football, played basketball, was on a volleyball team, random. Just like baseball, like whatever I wanted to do, if I showed an interest in it, my parents kind of pushed me towards that.
Yeah.
They were probably more passionate about the things that I said I wanted to do than me, because I was
Wow.
always quitting them. I was like, I don't care, I don't care. But like, if for my kids, hopefully they'll care about
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
longer than a month.
But you
But
did
like,
find something you cared about eventually.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So, and I mean, even like with music, like they support it. Like simple. Like you got to push your kids, push because you never know. It'll be that one kid who's interested in something and you don't push it, and he could have been super successful. Like my nephew tells me now, he's 10. He wants to go to space. He wants to be an astronaut. He's been saying it for like 3 years, so I know he's serious about it. He like goes to the websites, looks up stuff like space camps and all this. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's when the world opens back up, let's try to push it. If you're serious, let's push for that. I don't know how. Throw you in the air or something. I don't know.
There's a way.
Figure out how to
People
get
go into
you.
space all the time, so there's a way.
Yeah, we gonna figure out how to get you up there.
That's
But
dope.
we'll
That's
figure out
dope.
something.
Yeah. Do you believe everybody has a purpose?
Yeah, but I think some purposes we won't like.
Mm.
Like I believe that sometimes, as messed up as it sounds, I've learned that some people are just here to be an example. Like
Mm.
this, because all the time people say, "Oh, what was the point of this young kid being shot and killed in the street?" And I'm like, as messed up as it sounds, the purpose might have been so the next young boy doesn't get shot in the street.
Mm. Yeah.
And we would nobody would want to be on this earth and say, yeah, I'm here to be an example of what not to do. But
Right.
realistically, there's billions of people on earth. Some of us are just going to be there.
Yeah.
Like a senseless killing is going to stop someone else from either being killed or killing somebody else.
Yeah. That
That's
is
you're an
true.
example. Everybody got a purpose. Some of the purposes we won't like.
That is true. That is true. I didn't
Yeah.
think about it like that at all. At all. Do you feel like you found your purpose at all?
Yeah. I tell people when this all said and done, I'm gonna show you 8 things. Right now, I'm showing you 3. Music. I guess you want to call Jennifer thing activism and promoting black businesses. I got 5 more things I'm gonna show you before it's all over. I ain't necessarily figured them out,
It faded
but
out a little bit. The third thing was what?
I said it was music,
Activism.
protection, and promoting black businesses.
Gotcha.
All right, so I feel like I got 5 more things to show the world for a total of 8. I don't know why I picked 8, but I feel like people say you gotta have like 7 forms of income to
Hmm.
be like super successful and rich. So I want to have 8, just cause over beyond.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. What about who f.l.o.w is today do you think would surprise you as a child?
Um, I guess the consciousness, the activism. It's like I always had a good heart, but I was gonna do stupid things along the way. So now I had a good heart, but I'm doing the right thing. And I think that would surprise me as a kid because I was just like, I was rebellious, but I was rebellious against all the wrong things. Like I was just a problem child for no reason, rebel without a cause. Just if I felt like doing it, I just did it. And now it's the same way. If I feel like doing it, I'm gonna do it. But the things that I feel like doing are suit the world better than before. So I think that would surprise me.
Yeah, yeah, that's dope. What do you have next lined up for f.l.o.w, for just your life in general? Maybe business, whatever you have going on.
Uh, for flow, music wise, I've had 2 projects done since February, but the passing of Amaya Arbery, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and other countless others, I said this ain't a good time to promote anything. So I was gonna push that back. I never announced anything, so it wasn't a big deal. And then I got involved with the Jennifer thing, and I said I'm really not gonna promote nothing now. Like I told people, I'm not rapping a lick until this is over.
Mm,
I haven't seen a studio, I haven't seen a mic, haven't wrote a thing.
wow.
But so I guess when this is all over, I'm gonna give myself like a month of mental mental health awareness and
Hmm.
therapy, something. I'm gonna take a month to myself, then probably drop everything after. But the funny thing is it's super on brand to what I'm doing. That's the crazy part. It'll make sense later.
Yeah.
Uh business, like I said, black, which I'm coming to Philly next. Uh I usually do a poll like on Twitter and just ask like, hey, we want to hear. These are the next 4 requested areas that we've been asked to go to. So
Hmm.
I let the people pick. They picked Philly. It was like 700 votes for Philly. And I was like, all right, so I expect 700 people to come up. But like, so yeah, we're gonna pick the next area after Philly and just keep expanding that. As far as activism, I guess I just see where things take me.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't, I don't ambulance chase. I'm not looking forward to having to do this again.
right.
It's more so to set the standard because right now I have 5 different states and 5 different groups of people doing patrol right now.
Mm,
Because this whole thing, it's depressing because like now that people see what I'm doing, they DM me all the time with
mhm,
similar stories, worse stories. And it's like they coming to me like some kind of savior. I'm just like, yo, I can't be everywhere.
mhm,
And I kind of don't want that pressure on me to be
right.
everywhere. So I'm like, hey, I could reach out to the timeline and see if they know anybody in this area, and they can come do something similar. So yeah, we have that in 5 different areas. You wouldn't believe the stories. I mean, you're a woman, so you probably would. But men, you wouldn't believe the stories I'm hearing. But
Is
yeah,
this how emotionally taxing is this on you?
extremely. That's why I'm getting therapy as soon as this is over. Extremely taxing. and it's almost like it's that pressure of something that's happening to me. You have to help me, and
Mm,
I'm like, eventually, if there's something going on in Connecticut, it should be up to the men and women of Connecticut to handle.
right.
I can put out the bad signal and let you know where something is happening, but as far as realistically, you want me to drive or fly down there with my chair and sit there, that responsibility shouldn't be on. And it's not me complaining,
Right. No.
but it's just being realistic. I can't be in Dakota. I can't be in Phoenix. I can't be in Houston. Like I live in New York.
Hmm.
Like all I could do is just reach out to the proper channels and see if they're looking to do something similar.
Right.
But I mean, and every time people say defund the police, realize that this is what's going to come with it.
Right.
You're saying you can't scream defund the police, and then there's issues on your block, and you call them.
Yeah.
Like eventually, it's going to be up to you.
Yep.
It's going
Yep.
to be up to you to stop doing something stupid. It's going to be up to you to prevent stupidness from happening.
Hmm. Why does it?
And
Go ahead.
it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
No, I was just
Why?
saying it's a lot of pressure.
Why? Why are their requests so heavy? Do you have like a inner desire to want to see it fixed? Is it heavy because those questions keep bombarding you? Why is that so heavy for you?
It's this like okay, so it's the stories of people needing help mixed with people just telling me their story.
Hmm.
So it's like clearly, like we've been going viral doing certain things. So I can understand someone saying, "Oh wow, I'm going through something similar.
Yeah.
Maybe this guy can help." I understand those people reaching out,
Yeah.
and then there's people who just like, "Man, let me tell you, when I had to deal with abuse, I'm like, oh
Mm.
man, like trust. I read them. I read every single last one, even if I don't give you the longest responses because it's like 1,000 people at this point, and it's just like telling me their story. And I get it that they feel like they have to vent, but when I'm hearing 50 stories
Yeah.
from women dealing with that, it's like it's no woe is me. I'm not going through any of that. Like I tell people every day, don't feel bad for me. I don't live in Valley Stream.
Hmm.
Realistically, I can go home to a pretty decent life.
Hmm.
Like so there's no feeling bad for me. And it's like with the people in my DMs, it's just like, yo, damn. It's like I'm sorry. All you can really say is like, I'm sorry you had to go through that. I
Right.
don't really know what else to say. It's like, all right, this is story number 4
Right.
about racist neighbors or abuse or a family member touched you, and I'm just
Hmm. That's
like
a
that
lot.
sucks.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and it's just
To,
like,
to me, it sounds like you're very empathetic, that you
yeah,
really like relate to people and how they feel. Would that be accurate?
yeah. I always tell people, like, even when I was telling my man the other day, I was telling my boss rather, and I was like, I need to, cause sometimes your jobs might have mental health things, whether it be therapy or something of
Hmm.
that nature. So I was like, I need a black therapist. My boss is like, why? He's like, if you don't mind asking. I said, because I want to be able to sit down with somebody who's not sympathetic but empathetic.
Mm.
Like I don't want you to sit down and feel bad for me. I want
Mm.
you to sit down and relate to me.
Hmm.
And I just
Hmm.
feel like if you're not black, you can't do that,
I
especially
understand
in
that.
this scenario.
Yeah. The reason
I've
why
been
I
going
asked
through
if you were
it.
empathetic is because um, I consider myself to be empathetic. So if you tell me your story and you tell me, how bad it is and what's happened or whatever abuse, we hang up right now. I'm thinking about your story for the rest of the day.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just weighing on you for a long time. So I'm just trying to gather, what part of that is heavy. And I can understand what you mean by that's a lot of stories. And
yeah,
then for you to be empathetic and then take that with you. But I do give you kudos for recognizing that therapy is an asset. A
yeah,
lot of people, and especially Black males, because
yeah,
it's not highlighted, it's really frowned upon, like, oh, you need therapy, you must be crazy. That has nothing to do with crazy. That has
yeah. Not
everything
at
to
all.
do with recognizing, hey, this is a lot and somebody can help me. So I do give you
Yeah,
kudos for that, and hopefully you're inspiring other Black males just by watching to say, hey, maybe I can get some help too. So I think that is very good, and I'm excited for you to start and work
yeah.
through it.
I
That's
can't wait. I
Yeah.
can't wait.
I know it. I know it. So you're a huge shoulder to lean on, obviously. Um,
Yeah.
who's your shoulder? currently? Do you have one?
Um, they'll probably be mad, but no.
No? Not one that you feel that you can relate to at the moment.
Not really. I kind of just be in my own head because even when I tell people, it's just like, what I don't like about coming to people is if I come to you as a man or a woman and I tell you something, me personally, I don't care about your story at that moment.
Yeah.
A lot of times people be like, that reminds me that one time, I want to do this, and then you find yourself helping them.
Right.
This is all over. I deserve the right to be selfish. It only means we always got to give a relatable story to show you that we've been through the same thing, and then it turns into all we're talking about is your story. It's like you're fine right now. I'm not.
Yeah. People have to
That's why
learn
I
the
struggle.
difference. People have to learn
Yeah.
the difference and when it's time to tell your story. But then you got to be selective on, and when I say you, I mean all of us need to be selective on who we talk to, because not everybody is even capable of having those conversations and just listening and just
Yeah.
shutting up. So I understand. And I think that's a lesson for people as well. When your friend comes to you and they're having a hard time, it's not your turn.
Yeah.
Wait your turn. Wait your turn. Well,
Exactly.
I'm definitely praying for your shoulder to lean on, and
Thank,
I know you'll
thank
find
you.
it, because God's not gonna watch you be who you are and not make sure you're good. So I know that you'll get it, and I'm really excited to see everything you're doing. I'm grateful for your strength and your courage. I can't wait to hear more music from you.
Thank
I
you.
really liked and you talked about it in one of your interviews, Ribs Touching. That was really good.
Yeah, thank you. I love that song. I love that song.
That was a very, very good song. And I watched you break it down in your interview, how you were talking to God, but you were talking to Lauryn Hill because you went to hear music from her. You went to hear her respond to the political climate and the racial climate right now. But people got to listen to it. So I'll leave a link
Yeah,
to that specific song in
appreciate
the
it. Thank you.
notes. Because
That's one of my favorites.
that is
That's
definitely a
one of
very
my
good
favorites.
song. Very good song. I didn't come across a song that I didn't like, but there were some that I liked a lot, and that was definitely one of them. I was actually, when I was listening to it, and I hope that I'm not taken from your artistry by saying this, but when I was listening to it, my sister walked by. She goes, "Who that, Nas?" And I was like, "No."
I don't tell me that. Don't tell me
But what I think
that.
she heard was the Queen's flow, like
Yeah.
the lyricism in it. I don't think you sound like Nas, but I think it was a vibe, you know?
All right, tell her thank you. That's definitely a compliment to the highest degree.
Yes, because Nas is it, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Yes. All right. So before I ask my last question, where can people find you?
Twitter and Instagram, f.l.o.w 349. I don't really promote Facebook like that because it's kind of personal, but
Yeah,
everybody has it now. So if you know
yeah,
my real name, that's it.
yeah.
I'm not gonna say it.
Well, where can they find Black and support Black?
Black on Instagram is blacc.us. That's also the website as well, black.us. Twitter, it is by Black, BUYBLACC. And on Facebook, it's the group is spelled out, Black Liaisons and Crowdfunding Community. Google Liaisons, because we all have trouble spelling it at times. But yeah, that's where you can find us. And just go on the website as well.
Dope. So my last question, Flo, what is a quote that you live by?
A quote that I live by. It's actually a Bible verse. I do not know where it's at. But my grandfather used to make us say a Bible verse every Thanksgiving. Like before we say a prayer, everybody says a verse and we eat. And mine was what would it profit a man to gain the whole world, lose his own soul?
Hmm.
I forgot where it's at. I'm sure people know where it's at, but that's always been my favorite verse.
That's dope. It seems like
Simple.
you're living that.
Yeah,
That's dope.
got to. I might get it tatted on me one of these days. Maybe.
Well, I think what you're doing in the community, as I said again, is dope. I love that you are, from what I can see, just growing more and more into yourself. Going back
Yeah.
from your song "Dark Skin, Light Skin" to who you are right now, you just seem to be just compounding on top of who you are at the core, which I think is really dope. And you have an awesome
Definitely.
foundation, which is God.
Yeah.
That's my opinion, because I'm Christian too.
I appreciate that. Yeah,
Well,
it's pretty spot on.
well, thank you so much for being on today. Try to get
No
whatever
problem.
rest you can get, because I know you're going to the
I'm going to
night
bed
shift
right
now.
now.
Okay, cool. Well, go to
Yeah.
sleep, get you some rest. And again, I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
No problem. All right. You have a good night,
You too.
day, evening.
Excuses get made when you doubt your ability to succeed. And that's something that I don't like making excuses. I don't like people around me making excuses, and I'll just get them like, nope, I don't want to hear that. You can do it. When you start saying what you can't do, when you start giving excuses with, oh, well, this person did this, or I was late because of that person, or you know what, I had this little twist in my neck, and I couldn't really do it because of the twist. You're stopping yourself from actually getting to the next level. You're stopping yourself from succeeding. You're stopping all forward progress, and you did that to yourself. No one around you. Nobody put those roadblocks there. And if they are there, so that's just there to push you and figure out an innovative way to get around it, get under, get over it, get through it.
Yeah.
And if you stop yourself already here, giving yourself an excuse, forget about it. You're never gonna get to that next level. You're never gonna get to that goal or succeed how you want to.